Well, good morning. I want to show and share with you my idea on making a simple, inexpensive lighting system for your Zoom or Skype type videos when you don't have good lighting in your office or wherever you happen to do it. If you're on the outside doing it, it's fine, but normally we're inside, and I noticed that when I did Zoom that the light was behind me and it showed my face is dark, and I just needed a little extra light. And also my wife does for her real estate and different things. If you have meetings and so forth, you just need that little extra light so you won't look like a zombie. So I came up with an idea that I'm going to try, and if it works, that's great. If it doesn't, you'll never see this video. I'm starting off with some puck lights that I got, and this is the lights that I got, and they're less than $20 on Amazon. They even have a little remote control, and they are fairly bright. I tested out one earlier, and you can see it's not super bright. It's not as bright as I thought it would be, but when you put two of these lights beside your monitor of your laptop, then you can get enough light on your face so that it doesn't show as dark. Now, this particular light has a remote control. I'm going to go ahead and pull this tab, and that lets the battery operate. And once the light is on, I can control it here. It has buttons for bright and dim. I think you have to push it, directly. And it also has a timer on here and some other controls. I think you can do a variable bright dim, even turn it off. Whether you need that or not is probably not. Now this takes 3 batteries. You just twist the back, pull it off, and I've already installed 3 batteries. You'll notice that there's 2 small screw holes here with some small screws that you would attach. In this case, I'm going to have a base, and I'm going to have this conduit, 1/2-inch conduit, that I'm going to mount in here, and then I'm going to mount the light here and make it so it has some small adjustment. I am going to put a clamp on there, and this clamp is going to be so loose that I'm going to have to do some sort of build out here in order to make it snug, or I could drill a hole through here and put a small screw to adjust it. I haven't decided that yet. But I noticed that because this is so flimsy and it's going to be mounted on this conduit, that any twist will just rip out these screw holes. So I'm going to use this 1/4-inch plywood and put a little reinforcement onto the back of this so that it will be attached to this wood. You can just use a square piece of wood. In my case, I'm going to make it round because I happen to have a jig that will make a disc. I'll show you that jig a little bit later on my bandsaw. And I made these about 4 inches square. And when I round them off, they'll be 4 inches in diameter, and I think that'll hold it. I found a drill bit that matches this pretty close. If I can see, it is just a little less than a 1/16 less than, it's 13/16. So you'll see whatever you have there, you can use. Everything I've got here except the lights is just something I grabbed scrap. I cut these vertical pieces to about 15 inches. You can adjust that, and you can always cut it off later. I'm going to glue these things in. Once I drill this hole in the center, I'm going to glue these in with JB Weld epoxy, and we'll see how it goes. So let's start off by drilling this hole and mounting these things, and also mounting with this 1/4 inch the lights. We mount this here, and then we can mount the bracket on the back. But because I have this circle jig, I can come up with something like this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you how it works though. This simply slides along till it hits a stop down at the bottom, and then from there I just rotate it. It's got a 1/8 inch pivot point here, which is adjustable this way to whatever width you want. This happens to be the same size as the puck. Okay. Doesn't matter what angle you start. It goes till it hits the stop. Watch your fingers. It. Now we'll do the thicker pieces that are the base, and we'll make them about 4 inches. You can leave them square if you want, but because I have this, I just make them a circle. After some experimentation, I found that I cannot attach this plate with screws because the screws will go through and hit this rod. So I'm going to trust that these 3M glue pads will work, and I'm going to glue these on with the glue pads rather than use screws. We'll see how that works out. Now you notice that I epoxied in these bolts, which are going to attach like this. Also, I shortened this bracket here by sanding off a little bit of material so that it would get a little bit snugger fit when it attaches here, and then you can move it up and down. Also, I painted this with some paint just to make it look a little bit better. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish spray painting these and going to do the final assembly. Let's go ahead and touch these up with a little black paint. Okay, looks like it works. Let's go ahead and put the other one together. Batteries in. That one works too. Now we can put this on here with the 3M adhesive pad. Get this started. Try to center it as much as I can. I want to line these up this way. Square as I can make it. I really wanted to put screws in, but they came all the way through and it doesn't work. I'm hoping this will work out just fine. Ooh, that off. Put the bracket on. Lock washers. Flat washers and lock washers. Yeah. Well, let's see if I can get it on here. This looks to be about the right height. We'll check that out. Just snug these a little bit. And let's see. Great. Thank you. Let's see if we can get this on the computer and see how it takes the shadows out of our face.